welcome to a special Hoplark Hop Water episode of
Brutal Battle. Some people may be asking themselves, what in the world is Hoplark? Some other people may be saying, I know exactly what Hoplark is. I'm going to tell you up front, this has nothing to do with the company reaching out to us or sponsorship or anything like that. We have no relationship with them. It's just something we found on our own and decided to try. And then we were just like, wait a minute, we can do an episode on this. Because if you've been listening long enough in the recent years, we've actually been dabbling in some non-alcoholic stuff for people who might like that if they like craft beer. If you think back, we tried a bunch of non-alcoholic beers. We tried the Raising the Bar non-alcoholic beverages.
like mocktail.
Yeah, mocktails. And now we're moving on to something like this, where this, I think, should be behind the non-alcoholic beers, very close to actual beer. Because obviously, as the name says, it is hop water. It is carbonated water with different varietals of hops used.
And that's the only ingredients. It's just water and hops.
Right, yes. So nutritional value, like
no calories.
Whatever nutrients you're getting from the hops and the water, and then, you know, there's nothing bad.
Yeah, no calories, no sugar, no nothing. And it says Whole30 approved. So
there you go. So the reason that I ended up originally purchasing a variety pack of this, and you can go to their website and get a variety pack, which has 4 different varietals at 3 of each, because it's a 12-pack. The reason I decided to do it is we've been getting more and more into drinking non-alcoholic things. It's just nice to sip on stuff, whether it's, you know, something like kombucha or mocktails or non-alcoholic beer or whatever. And the other thing is I actually have some anxiety issues in my life. So through doing some research, I found that scientifically they found that hops legitimately can calm you. It is good for people with anxiety. So I decided, why don't we try this hop water stuff? Because I started Googling something kind of like that and found out it exists. So Hoplark came up and I was like, let's try this variety pack. Plus we like hops.
Right.
So it'd be great to be able to drink hops when you don't want alcohol. So here it is.
We bought these online, but someone I follow on Instagram, I saw was drinking a Hoplark, and he told me that you can get them at Giant, at least in this area. So
yeah, in Maryland, yeah. So yeah, well, let's get into the first one, which I assume is probably one of the more popular ones because the hop is super popular, and that's their Hoplark Water Sparkling Citra hops. People love the Citra hops. All their hop waters come in 16-ounce cans. So, yes. And obviously, 0 ABV. Excited to try this one. And full disclosure, we already tried one off podcast. And that was the Mosaic. And did you like it?
It was very tasty.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised. I was like, oh, man,
for hops. Me, it kind of like, I mean, it literally was like what you think it would be, like hopped water. And for me, it kind of satisfied the urge for a beer because it kind of gives you that flavor profile.
Especially if you're a hop head, people who love it. And some people would probably taste this and be like, it's about where the session IPAs were on the market when session IPA was a thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because people complained about it being super watery. Okay, hey, it's clear.
Yeah, it's
clear. A little hazy, though.
There's a little like, tinge of
cloudiness.
Yeah.
Probably because of the hop particulate in there.
There's bubbles, obviously, because it's sparkling.
Oh my gosh. That nose is
so good.
Vibrant.
I mean, like...
Wow.
It could be a beer.
You know what this reminds me of? The times that we've toured breweries and they take us inside their hop fridge.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just all those hops. Like that smell that hits you as soon as you walk in. It's just beautiful aromatic hop smells. This is reminding me of those experiences. Oh my gosh, it's just vibrant, citrusy as hell, Citra hops. A little sticky smelling as well.
I can see that.
Like a little
it's just like
a little pine as well.
It's just so citrusy.
Yeah.
Like it's the predominant nose, and then you get some of those other things you were mentioning, but
there's a little like funky dankness on there too, actually.
I'm going in.
There's a little bitterness on the nose as well, which, you know, you would assume you'd get if they're using actual hops with this. So.
It's just so tasty. Like, it's so refreshing. You get the little bit of citrus.
Yeah.
It's just easy to drink.
You definitely get that bitter bite, too. Like, don't think that just because there's no, like, backbone to it that they were going with, like, just the brightest hop flavors. Like, they did it with the actual hop. So from the actual vegetation, you are getting some bitterness in there. Mm-hmm. So it's more like a regular beer in that sense.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's super light.
I will have to say, I like the Mosaic more than the Citra.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just because that was our first experience with it.
For me, I think it's because Mosaic is a little richer of a flavor, in my opinion. I feel like Citra's like it's bright citrus, but it's also kind of light. And especially the representation of it within this. Now, one of the things that you had been told, did you want to tell them about the tea?
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Instagram gentleman that I was having a conversation with about the Hoplark was saying that the tea is very good because the tea kind of acts like the barley in beer. So he said that it kind of gives it like a more robust, layered flavor.
Yeah, so they literally have like the hop water and then they have the hop tea is what they call it. So it's two separate portions of the website. And they also have a variety pack for the hop tea, which after having the Mosaic Hoplark yesterday...
Guess what we did?
Guess what I purchased? Because trying it, I was like, yeah, I can really see where adding tea to this would just take it to that next level. It really would. But this is good. This is very satisfying to me. And here's a great use for it. Have you ever wanted to get the taste of hops while you're at work?
Right.
Here's your opportunity. You can be drinking hops with no ABV so no one gets in trouble to tide you over until you can get that IPA in you.
I will say, I wish they were only in 12 ounces.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. Although it is just water, so...
Yeah, but like most sparkling waters are in 12-ounce cans.
That's true, yeah. Yeah. I will say that as you keep drinking it, the bitterness kind of grows a bit. So I'm not sure how people who are fans primarily of hazy IPAs would do with these. Because there is a bitterness that you're probably not that accustomed to. It's good, though. I like it. So... we're just doing 2 because that's what we've been doing, 2 drinks, but we had all 4. Like we already told you, we really like the Mosaic. The one we're not having on the podcast is done with Sabro hops. And Rebecca chose the Strata hops for our second and last one to try on this podcast. And what was the main reason you wanted this one?
I thought the cans would look pretty next to each other for the picture.
Yeah. She's thinking from the perspective of the person who runs her Instagram, which I appreciate. Okay, here we go. How's it looking? Does it look the same?
Yeah, it looks
probably.
The same. Yeah.
Is it? I'm interested.
It looks a little more yellow.
Yeah, there's a slight tinge of yellow to it. Also, I think this is clearer. Like, I feel like there's less kind of particulate. Yeah, there's a very slight yellow tinge. Good job picking up on that. Okay, smell.
So this smells more piney to me.
Oh, yeah. This is way heavier on the pine. There is a citrus aspect there, but it's like an orange. It's like a very distinct kind of dehydrated orange smell. But yeah, plenty of pine to it.
It's not as vibrant. It still is fragrant. It's just different.
Nose-wise, the Citra hops smells like more aromatic and more like beautiful. But this still has quite a nice nose.
I like the nose of this better.
Well, it seems like it has more complexity to the nose, which I think that's just kind of the representation of the hops, obviously. And that's another thing to kind of point out about these. Have you ever just wanted to taste the profile of a hop? This is a great way to do it because you don't have any other flavors getting in the way of that. You are literally tasting just the hop. And they do a lot of different ones. Like I saw their newest one they put up was like with Talus hops. So they're always like, I think each month they have a new one that they do. So they're doing a lot of different hops, so you can try a lot. All right, your thoughts. I'm going to go in and try it.
I mean, it's good.
This one's real grassy to me.
I could see that. It's just like pine and citrus, which you get on the nose and you get in the flavor. I like them both. I don't know. It's going to be hard to rank these.
Piney, grassy. I think the bitterness is less.
Okay. I think I do like actually the Strata better.
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting to like the Citra more, but yeah, I definitely like the Strata more.
They're very close though.
I just think there's a lot more going on flavor-wise with the Strata. Like, I don't want just, like, kind of one flavor, and I felt like the Citra is kind of mainly one flavor. The Strata is giving you a few flavors at the same time, and that's how I felt about the Mosaic when we had it as well. So, I was expecting to like the Citra most out of the variety pack, but I think at the moment I like it the least. But it's still good.
My favorite's still the Mosaic.
Yeah, my favorite's probably the Mosaic as well. But the Strata is pretty close.
Strata's very good.
Interesting to see what the Sabro is going to be like.
The Citra's very good too.
So
I'm not disappointed by any of them.
Oh yeah, me neither. And I'm very excited now. Because just like think about this flavor, but think with a tea base.
Mm-hmm. Could be very interesting.
I feel like it's going to be that next level. I think it'll be really good. So maybe we do an episode with the hop tea?
Yeah.
Just to see how that ends up being. Let us know. You can send us an email, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. And also, do you want to see more things like this? Are there other non-alcoholic beverages that are kind of in the vein of craft beer that you want us to try? Let us know. Send us that email. Also, the social medias.
Brutal Battle Podcast on Instagram.
And we're on Untapped. And my Untapped is Carlton Malibu, all one word. That's the easiest way to find me. But also Carlin Cook or Carlin C. You can probably find me that way. So we can be, virtual friends.
Yeah, and I'm Rebecca C.
And then you can get all our back episodes on brutalbattle.com or archive.org by searching Brutal Battle. And please, please, please do us the favor of writing a review for us and rating us through whatever podcatcher you use. But iTunes will help us the most. And the biggest thing, word of mouth. If you know people who like craft beer and craft beer podcasts, recommend this. We would like to grow our listener base a little bit. Have more people emailing into us and saying, hey. Oh, which, by the way, I do have an email that I've been forgetting to put on the podcast, so my apologies to Steve Pfeiffer, who sent an email. I know I had talked about I was going to go over this.
Yeah, you teased it.
I did. So here it is. Pumpkin blend suggestions that Steve sent in. This is what he said. Get your hands on some Deathwise pumpkin coffee beans. Grind them very coarsely for cold brew. Make a batch of cold brew concentrate. Then they recommend 12 ounces of coffee grounds to every 7 cups of water. Steep it for 18 to 24 hours. Mix in 1 part concentrate to 2 parts water when drinking. And then put it over ice.
Okay.
And then he said, search some of the high ABV pumpkin beers such as Avery's Pumpkin or Pump KY and mix 4 ounces of cold brew concentrate with a 12-ounce beer.
Okay.
So those are some ideas for people to infuse their own coffee because obviously he sent this after we did our Blend It Yourself episode where we tried to literally take coffee and put it in existing beers to see if you can create your own coffee beer at home. So.
Well, coffee pumpkin beer would be good.
Yeah.
Well, they do make some out there.
Yeah, right. There's one that Southern Tier does. It's literally taking their pumpkin, but then putting coffee
like
to it.
a pumpkino?
Yeah, Elysian.
Yeah.
Which we don't talk about Elysian anymore. We don't talk about Elysian because they're owned by the bad guys. But anyway, sorry again about that, Steve. Hit us up with emails, rate us, review us, all that stuff. Thank you, everyone, continually for listening to this. And until next time,
keep it brutal.